Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Vibing with Stay Grey. It's another season, it's another episode, and I'm here to jazz you up with new content. So, in today's episode, we want to focus on money. How are we going to make this money that we want, that we keep on talking about? That we need money to do this, to buy us freedom, to take us to school, to take us to vacations, and how are we going to generate it and just learn the nitty gritties all about money. So I decided to bring on a business coach. He's well versed on money matters. That's why I wanted him to take us through all these things that we need to know about money so that we can all be knowledge about. As usual, our show is about educating, inspiring, and transforming. And I hope that this episode will do that for you. So welcome Coach Sam to Vibing with Stay Grey. In this forum, we usually educate, inspire, and transform everyone, like the youths and the adults who are seeking for a transformational journey. And for today's topic, I'm really excited for it because it's money. People always keep on talking about money and how they want to make it and how they want to buy their freedom with it. But some have little knowledge on how to make it. And with your history and how you have been empowered and transformed, we would really love to hear about your journey and how you made it through, and also to educate the young people watching this video right now on what they can do to themselves, for themselves, to get this money that they always wish for every single time. So I'm going to open the forum for you, and so that you can introduce yourself to our audience.
Awesome, Kat. Thank you for creating this platform for young people. Thank you for always looking for other young people who are actually building things that others can benefit from and we can learn and actually tap into different opportunities. My name is Sam Ambrose. I'm a certified life coach and a digital marketing strategist. Mainly, I work with brands to have them market online. And so this is an awesome conversation because everyone is interested in money and how the economy is moving up and down.
Yeah.
Good for young people to to discuss and see how we can build each other.
Okay. So you said that you're a certified life coach. How did you achieve this?
Well, at a young age, that becomes one of the biggest questions because we expect life coaches to be the older generation who have gone ahead of us. To me, it's a very interesting journey to be able to be young and certified as a coach. Having grown up in the street and also children prisons in my early age, it really helped me to experience a different lifestyle because most young people are raised from home. Okay, maybe with different challenges, but coming from the street, spending my early ages in so when I came out and after my high school, trying different things that can work for me. So I happened to work with one brand, Destiny Life Coaching, which trains and certifies coaches and life coaches in Kenya. So in the process, I was able to take the program. And as we are going to through the conversation, you're going to realize that what most young people need is mentorship. Mentorship is very key because that's what I call my million shortcut.
Yeah. Mentorship. And how?
Yeah, mentorship. Mentorship is really like a bridge to take you to the next level because I usually say that young people have time and the older generation, they have experience. And when you put time and experience together, you create an amazing combination. So what I wish or what I did in my level is I was willing to work for free. And this is what a lot of young people can't do when it comes to money. When you are in your early 20s, you have nothing to lose. So for me, what helped me to even get an opportunity in the company is I was willing to work for free. And I will tell you, even today, as I make six figures and the results I generate for myself and my clients, I still work for free. So in the process of offering my services and getting mentorship from the CEO of the company, I was able to train in the process.
Wow. And I've heard that you've mentioned that you're making six-figure income and you're on your 20s. You see, that's very empowering for someone who's listening to this right now. Is like, okay, how can I be like you, or how can I emulate you? And how has your journey been? We want to know from point A to point B, where you are right now, how it has been. How did you start? Because it didn't just wasn't about snapping the finger and you're just there making money. How did it begin? Straight from high school?
Yeah, my story is kind of crazy and also miraculous at the same point. The way I look at my life, one is to first of all accept that everyone got a path they're walking. So as I share my story, as I share the ideas, because all I can do is to share ideas, what I want someone to think or a young person listening to this is how can I apply this in my life? How can I take this? Because I want you to understand there's something called principles or laws. Those can't be broken. They are the same. You can implement them in different ways, but you are going to get the same result. So success principles are the same. It's only that the implementation is different. So my story, just to give it in phases, is number one is that at a very young age, at the age of 12, I ran away from home because of different reasons. And of course, coming from a family that had its own issues, I had to run to the street. So once I was in the street, my main work was to sell scrap metals. So in the streets of Nakuru, I used to sleep and about in Shabab. For those who know Shabab, that's actually where I used to spend my nights most of the time during that period. And I stayed in the street for about 1 year and a few months. Then the government was clearing the streets and it was trying to get the street families, the kids back to their family. And in that process is when I was, caught by the government as it was processing how we can be united with our family. And because I couldn't go home, one, because of my character, two, because of different challenges that were going through my parents' marriage. Mm-hmm. And because of this, the only way was the government to take in me for care and protection. So I spent about 1 month in Nakuru Juvenile for Children. Then I spent 3 months in Lokabete, Nairobi. There's a place called Getaduru. There's a center that I think it's around Rokabete police station around there. I've been wanting to visit maybe one of the days. Then I went to Kakamega for 3 years. So in Kakamega rehabilitation is just opposite Masinde Muliro University, actually opposite the main gate. So I spent there 3 years, and during that period is when I did some of both good and evil stuff. And some of the lessons I learned, one is, of course, I was able to do bakery and confections. Funny thing, I've never stepped in the kitchen to prepare anything, but I could literally make some good pancakes or such, but I just don't like them. I also did electrical grade 3. So as far as, another funny stuff, I've never done any wiring. Actually, my younger brother does more of that stuff more than me. Mm-hmm. So the other thing, but the most phenomenal thing during that period is I started making and selling bangles.
Yeah.
And you're gonna notice where this actually reflects on my current lifestyle and maybe something a young person can actually learn and implement. So in this rehabilitation center, we used to make bangles.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could write names, maybe I love you, or maybe the name, and the student could buy for their girlfriends as a gift or something. Yeah, so that was the main business then. But I noticed that my level of laziness would not allow me to make a lot of bangles. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of work. And of course, sitting down, there are people who like that and they could concentrate on the small bit. But one thing with me, it was, I noticed that I'm trusted by the students because they used to use our field to pray. So they could leave me with their phones. maybe when they're praying so that no one can steal, then I could sneak inside to the university and interact with them in their hostels. So for me, it was trust and getting people to trust me faster. I mean, and interact with them. So my work was to sell the bangles. So the people, my friends, could make the bangles, then I could go out and sell to the student. So I could get orders from the student and bring them inside for those who are making bangles. So that was literally my business. So we are given farm, and some people are, putting skuma wiki to sell to the society. I was not good with agriculture, but I was good at getting people to buy the skumas. So for me, I was the guy who was sent outside most of the time.
Yeah.
So by 2013, because of some reasons, I left Kakamega and came back home. Of course, my mom staying alone. So because of that, I started looking for school because I left in Nakuru West in class 3, so I didn't attend quite of the classes.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm coming back, the whole idea was for me to go to Polytechnic.
Yeah.
But I needed a primary certificate, the KCPA certificate, for me to be able to join a polytechnic, maybe advance my skill in electrical, maybe grade 2 or grade 3. Oh, I did grade 3, so I was supposed to do grade 2, then grade 1. So the whole year I was looking for a school. I tried to go to different schools, but it was impossible. So I had to come to Nairobi or travel to Nairobi, where I was able to get a school. You see these private schools that are everywhere in Nairobi. So I got an opportunity with one. It's called Brosis. And I registered my KCP exams, but now again, I was not, having grown in the streets and in the rehab, I didn't know how to be a normal child, how to wash utensils,
Yeah.
how to be sent to the shop. I'm used to do what I want. I'm used to rebel. I'm used to fight back. So I couldn't stay with my relatives in Nairobi. So I ran away back to Nakuru to stay with my mom, and just told my mom, all we need is a certificate. I can as well as go back and actually write ABCD and get some mark and just get the certificate and go to Polytechnic. So I spent a few months outside, that is 2014. But luckily I got a chance at Egerton Primary, term 2 of 2014. But again, all I was doing is just watching movies. But again, my performance was not that bad, even if I'd missed a lot of classes. So later I finished my primary and I asked about my polytechnic, because there's other stories that I'm omitting because of time, just to focus on my journey. And in between that, the whole idea was to go to high school. So in high school, I quite struggled with a lot. I didn't know how to write notes. I really struggled with that. So I never wrote any notes. So the only thing I used is, the revision materials to actually prepare for most of the exams. So in Form 4, I got my grade. I got a D plus. Sometimes I don't remember even which grade I actually got. And this is important for those who maybe who have finished high school just the other day and they're not sure if I should go to college or I should go to university, or you didn't perform how you wanted. So to be true for me, sometimes I don't actually remember my grade. And this is the funny thing, a lot of people I've worked with and brands, they have never asked me about my grade. And that's the most phenomenal thing about the marketplace.
Yeah.
Because we get stuck at the paper. So after high school, I started looking for different things, but I want to also say in Form 2, I got my first mentor.
Yeah.
So this guy was working online, Forex trading. He also owned some website online. And he used to send me maybe to the M-Pesa, maybe to deposit some money to the bank so that he can do trading. And he didn't teach me a lot, but every time I was sitting in his house and he was listening to motivation speakers, he was listening to Dr. Wayne there, he was listening to Jim Rohn, he was listening to Les Brown. So these messages was getting into my head. Because the first time I knocked at that door, all I wanted to get is the Churchill Show episode. The guy used to like Churchill Show. and I just wanted him to copy a few of the episodes to my flash disk so that I can go and watch on my phone. But in the process, we generated some friendship, and I could be there most of the time and listen to that. So immediately after high school, looking for different opportunities. Also, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad in high school. That's really golden, and I literally recommend every young person to, grab a copy of that book. I usually see them in Nairobi streets.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes they sell them maybe 1,000 or 500. Just sacrifice a few of chocolates and bites and just buy a copy. It's a very instrumental book. So I literally got my first client after watching a YouTube video. I literally got my first client after watching a YouTube video on how to set up a Facebook ad. So that has been my journey, and from there, I've been all working on myself.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that has been, wow. From that transition, you getting out of home, going to the streets, being arrested, yet you're a young person, but still you manage to get out of that box and be the person who you are right now. And that is really empowering, and the lessons that you're giving us. So, Sam, how can you just tell us, how can we as young people develop that right mindset that we want to make this money, and how can we actually make it? Because for some people, they usually think that life is like 1 + 1 = 2. When I'm done with primary school, I go to high school. When I finish high school, I go to uni, I get employed, and that's where life goes. But then in some instances, you see people rallying out here from universities that they're not being paid enough, that there are no job markets. But how can you tell these young people, how can they just develop that right mindset to actualize on their plans and how to make money? Because some of us don't know how to make money. We just dream of it, but just making it is fiction. You get? So how can we do this?
Okay, thank you. That's awesome. Now I'm just looking for the simplest way to actually communicate to my fellow young people to just make this as easy as I can. And I think I'm just gonna be just go back a little bit to physics to just explain, maybe to try and bring the money topic easily for young people. One, I think the first law is always that a body will always continue in the same straight line with the same speed unless acted by an external force. I believe that is the law. So what happens is that one is everything we are experiencing is who we are from within. Like everything is cause and effect. If you don't have money, it's because money is not fitting into your head. Like it's all a reflection. Now, the funny thing is that when we talk about these rules, they appear funny, they appear like some manipulation, they appear like some lies.
Yeah, cliche.
But literally, yeah, but you realize that money is attracted. Money is a result, not an action. So why most young people, we don't get money is because we are focused on money. That's the first reason as why most of us young people in Kenya, we struggle to make money. One is because we are too much focused on money. Now, I was in Nairobi this week, and the few people the few clients that I was looking for, having a chat with, and the few meetings I attended, I will tell you, every company, every one of my clients is looking for someone who can do something. But we don't have young people to do this. So the first thing is to shift your mindset, work from within, not from without. So first of all, you need to recognize what is holding you back as a young person.
Yeah.
Number two is to get mentorship. There's two things that you can do for the rich, for them to give you money. Yeah. And when I'm talking about the rich, I'm talking about your uncle, I'm talking about your father, I'm talking about your sister, I'm talking about everyone around your life with money. Because you see, when I was growing up, and maybe you can tell me if this has happened to you, you are always mad at people who have money and they're not giving you, including your father, maybe, or, most of us, we are mad with people with money. So first of all, if you want to be rich, you have to love rich people. You must stop hating. And you see a lot of Kenyans, especially young people in Kenya, we hate the rich because we think the rich are these evil people who are unfair. We think the rich are actually misusing us. We think the rich. So one, you must fall in love with the rich if you want to be rich. You cannot become that which you hate. Now, this is what I've learned. Two things you can do to the rich so that they can give you money. One, you must give them something, a solution that makes them more money than they are paying you. I repeat again, you must build capacity as a young person to provide solutions to the rich that is going to make them more money than they're paying you. That's one.
That's right.
So how you do this is by running high income skills. So like right now, a lot of young people are suffering, especially those who are doing online writing, because guess who is around chat? Right now it's GPT-4, right? The new AI version. It's an amazing tool. It actually writes like a whole blog within a minute. So all the young people who used to make money with AI, most of them are being thrown out of the market.
Yeah.
So one is you must develop skills that's gonna propel you. No matter how much technology is advancing, the companies still need people who can operate this, artificial intelligence. They can't operate itself unless one day it turns against humanity, but we are not yet there. So number two, you must do something, give something, provide something to the rich that saves them time. I repeat, save them time so that they can go and make more money.
Yeah. So it's like you're helping them to make more money.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Young people, we have advantage of time. The people we want to work with, they have an advantage of experience. So if we can develop our capacity to give results, because another thing, young people in Kenya, we are not result oriented. We want salary at the end of the month, but when we are given work, we don't actually do it. So that's it. The other thing is you must read good books. So I know you're seeing this is my mantra maybe on WhatsApp or Facebook. I should say read good books and
take good coffee.
Good coffee.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole idea here is coffee gives you energy. That's according to me. I know there's different sources of energy.
Yeah.
So as a young person, you need to find something that gives you energy. If it's the gym, me, I like coffee. Some people like yoga. Some people like dancing. Whatever gives you energy, keeps you alive, then books. My library is all over. I think right now I'm reading The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Abeck. I actually bought it on Monday when I was in town. And the book didn't even cost me more than a cup of coffee. I think I bought it at 600 or something. So such a book, you need to collect the right books that's going to give you the right information in what you want to do. So books, you have to invest in the books, in the courses, in mentorship as you can. But sometimes when we get started, we don't have the money to buy the books. I understand. When I started, I really struggled. I didn't have this money. But I used to wake up every morning to go to a place with Wi-Fi to download videos. So literally store a lot of video on the memory card. So there's nothing stopping you from accessing knowledge in the knowledge economy. So the other thing is that you must operate a few accounts. So if you are going to get into business or not, you need to open a saving account.
Yeah.
Now, we waste money since our teenage because we don't have responsibility. And then reality catches up with us, and now we don't have the money that we actually used to waste. So just open an account, strive to have some money set aside, not for the rainy day, because I've discovered that whatever you expect comes to you. If you expect rainy days,
you'll get rainy days.
You expect bad days. Actually, there's a book, it's called The School of Money by Emmanuel Oromede, Pastor Emmanuel. Yes. He says that if you prepare for bad days, you will always have good days. Yeah, so that's what I can share, the lessons that I've been able to learn. And mainly is the ability to work for results. I tell you, there's no company right now, any business, anyone operating a business in Nairobi or in Kenya or outside Kenya who will refuse to give an opportunity for a young person who can come in and help the company make an extra 50,000. Let's say you are a graphic designer as a young person. I promise you there's no company that is going to deny you an opportunity to make graphics for them for free. Say, I'm going to provide graphics to your company, and if they produce results or they increase your social media following or they increase the orders, I just want you to give me 1% of that money. And I tell you, most businesses, including myself, I'll be like, okay, you are helping me, build business, go to the next level. I'm going to give you an opportunity. But now we have lazy young people who are going around and they're looking for jobs. And when you give them the job, now you have to train them from zero. I hope that makes sense. It's like now they're becoming students to you.
Yeah. So like we have already learned on the tips on how we can learn how to make this money. And as I see that our time is almost elapsing, we have 8 minutes. I feel like we have a lot to talk about. And I feel like we can also have other topics on other sessions because this is really a big topic. Talking about money and the young adults and how you've said that money is always, we usually attract money. And if we expect an abundance, we'll get an abundance. And for this session, we've learned on the tips that we can use to start generating this income. I am really positive that the audience right now have gathered some tips on your life journey and how they're going to start changing or redirecting their steps so that they can get the life they want to get. And I feel like this is a huge process. So we're going to have another episode soon. We're going to schedule for it because I feel like it's a really transformative talk, and talking it step by step and you coaching us will be a step forward. And for this episode, we really have had a good time. And the lessons, trust me, it may be a few minutes, but we've learned a lot from that. And we're hoping to learn even more during the next episodes. What can you leave us with as a parting shot as we end this short episode?
Awesome. If you want to be rich, study wealth. If you want to be happy, study happiness. If you want to have a good relationship, study relationships. If you want to be successful, study success. Anything you want to achieve, make it a study.
Yes, and you said that it's all in the mind. So in the next episode, we'll be diving more into how to regenerate this income and how to, you remember the cash flow even in the Robert Kiyosaki book. I also read it because, I read it when I was 19 years old. Yeah, I read it. And we want to understand more of that. And I know even other people do want to understand that. And I'm really grateful for this episode. And I hope that you people as the audience have really gathered information on what Coach Sam is talking about. This is really a juicy message for you all, since money, we can't just sit here and say that we're manifesting money without even making the action, directing our steps to what you want to achieve. So this is a go move to you. Listen to what he has said. You can even re-listen to this episode so you can gather some of the tips that he has mentioned. And for the next episode, you'll get more pumped up with content on money. See you on the next episode. Thank you.